Ladies and gentlemen, every new morning is a divine invitation, a fresh opportunity to start again, to realign your heart, and to speak life into your destiny. When you open your eyes and take that first breath, it is not by chance. It is grace. The fact that you are still here means heaven has assigned you another chance to walk in purpose. But so many people wake up carrying yesterday's burdens into today's light. They wake up thinking about what went wrong, who hurt them, what they lack, or what might go wrong next. My friend, if you begin your day with fear, doubt, or regret, your mind becomes a battlefield before the day has even begun. But if you begin your day with faith, everything changes. Faith is not just a belief, it is a decision. Every morning, you have the power to decide what atmosphere you will live under. Will it be the dark cloud of worry or the bright light of expectation? When you rise in the morning, you must learn to say, "Today, I choose faith over fear." Those words are more than positive thinking. They are a spiritual declaration. You are setting the tone for your day, shaping your mindset and inviting heaven's favor into your path. Fear whispers you can't handle this day, but faith declares, "I can do all things through Him who strengthens me." Fear says, "The past will repeat itself," but faith answers, "My past is forgiven, and my future is in God's hands." Fear limits you, but faith expands you. When you speak faith in the morning, you are not pretending that challenges don't exist. You are simply declaring that they don't define you. Faith does not ignore reality. It redefines it through divine perspective. There will always be uncertainties. There will always be moments that test your patience and stretch your trust. But your response determines your direction. When you wake up and choose faith, you give permission for peace to take the driver's seat. You stop reacting to fear and start responding with courage. You begin to see obstacles not as enemies, but as opportunities for growth. You stop saying, "Why me?" and start saying, "Try me, because I know who walks with me." Every morning, before the rush of the world begins, you must pause for a sacred moment. Look toward the new day and say to your soul, "Be still. God is with me." That simple declaration carries power. It shifts your focus from what's outside you to what's within you. It reminds your heart that you are not alone in your journey. No matter how uncertain the road ahead seems, faith gives you the strength to take one more step forward. You see, faith is not the absence of fear. It is the courage to move forward in spite of it. Sometimes you will not feel brave. You will not feel ready. But that's when you must speak faith the loudest. The tongue is a small instrument, but it can steer the whole direction of your day. The words you speak in the morning can either open the door to anxiety or unlock the gate to peace. So speak what you want to see. Say, "I believe today will bring opportunities. I believe favor will follow me. I believe everything I need will be provided." The more you declare it, the more your spirit aligns with it. Faith does not wait for evidence, it creates it. The moment you believe, you activate the unseen. That's why it is vital to start your morning with words that lift your spirit, not drain it. Even if yesterday was filled with disappointment, today is a new beginning. The dawn is God's reminder that endings are never the end. They are the start of something new. So let the sunrise remind you that there is still light ahead, no matter how dark the night felt. Sometimes people say, "I'll have faith when I see results." But that's not faith, that's observation. Real faith says, "I believe even before I see." When you wake up with that mindset, your perspective shifts. The challenges that once intimidated you now inspire you. You start to see difficulties as divine training grounds. You begin to understand that faith is not just about getting through the day. It's about growing through it. There may be mornings when you feel tired, when the weight of yesterday's troubles still lingers. But remind yourself, this is a new day, and I am not defined by what happened before. Speak to your heart as if you were speaking to a dear friend. Tell yourself, you are stronger than you feel. You are braver than you think. You are not alone in this journey. These words awaken your inner strength. They remind you that your Creator has already equipped you with everything you need for today. If your first thoughts in the morning are filled with faith, your actions throughout the day will reflect it. You will approach problems with calmness instead of panic. You will speak with kindness instead of anger. You will walk with confidence instead of doubt. Faith repositions your entire mindset. It helps you see through the lens of possibility instead of limitation. And so, as the light of morning touches your window, take a deep breath and make this your daily declaration. I will walk by faith today. I will not be ruled by fear. I will trust in the plan that is greater than my understanding. I will step forward with hope in my heart. Say it until your spirit believes it. Say it until your doubts bow before it. Say it until your day becomes a reflection of the faith you proclaimed at sunrise. Faith is not a feeling, it's a choice. And when you choose faith every morning, you choose victory, peace, and purpose. So each day when you wake up, remind yourself with conviction and joy. Today, I choose faith over fear. Every morning when you wake up, before the noise of the world fills your mind, there is a sacred moment when your words can shape the entire direction of your day. What you speak is what you will see. The words that leave your lips in those first few moments of the morning are like seeds sown into the soil of your spirit. They will either produce life or they will produce limitation. You may not always control what happens around you, but you can always control what comes out of your mouth. And when you choose to speak words of life, faith, and hope, you begin to command your day instead of letting the day command you. Your tongue is not just a tool for communication, it is an instrument of creation. In the same way that the Creator spoke and the world came into being, you too carry the power to create your atmosphere with your words. If you speak defeat, you will feel defeated. If you speak fear, you will feel afraid. But if you speak victory, peace, and strength, your heart will begin to align with those truths. That is why it is so important not to start your day with complaint or negativity. The moment you say, I am tired, I can't do this, or nothing ever changes, you give power to those words. You are watering weeds instead of planting fruit. But imagine starting your day differently. Imagine waking up and saying, today is a day of purpose. I am strong, I am capable, and I am guided by wisdom. The moment those words leave your lips, something shifts inside of you. Your mind starts to focus on possibilities instead of problems. Your heart begins to expect good things. Your spirit becomes alert and ready to receive blessings. That is the power of a spoken word filled with faith. It doesn't just change your mood, it changes your atmosphere. When you speak life, you are building the world you want to live in. You are constructing peace where there was anxiety, courage where there was hesitation, and hope where there was doubt. The mouth is the gate to your destiny, and every morning, you decide what enters through it. That is why you must guard your speech carefully. Don't let careless words slip out just because you feel tired or discouraged. Feelings are temporary, but words can linger long after they are spoken. Speak with intention. Speak what you desire, not what you fear. Many people think that speaking positive words is a matter of pretending that everything is fine. But that's not true. Speaking life is not denial of reality, it is declaring a higher reality. It's saying, yes, I see the storm, but I believe there's still peace available. It's saying, yes, I feel weak, but strength is being renewed within me. When you speak in this way, your words become a bridge between your current situation and your divine potential. There is a spiritual law that governs the universe. What you continually confess will eventually manifest. If you repeat words of faith, those words begin to shape your inner world. And when your inner world changes, your outer world will follow. If you start each day saying, I am blessed, I am loved, I am surrounded by grace, those truths will take root in your mind. And when challenges arise, those roots will keep you steady. You won't be shaken easily because your words have already built a foundation of confidence and peace. You see, when you speak negative words, your spirit becomes heavy. You may not even realize it, but the energy around you changes. The day feels harder, people feel colder, and everything seems to go wrong. But when you start your morning with words of faith, it's as if the light of heaven shines on everything you touch. You begin to draw favor, wisdom, and opportunity toward you. That's not just wishful thinking, it's spiritual alignment. The universe responds to what you release. Even in the smallest moments, be mindful of your speech. When you look in the mirror, don't criticize yourself. Speak blessing over yourself. Say, I am growing, I am learning, I am becoming who I was created to be. When you leave your home, declare, peace will follow me wherever I go. I am protected, I am guided, and when you face uncertainty, whisper to your soul, I will not be shaken, for my steps are ordered. These declarations may seem simple, but over time they transform your thinking. And when your thinking changes, your life changes. There will be mornings when you don't feel like speaking life. The burden may feel too heavy, the problems too real. But that's exactly when you must speak the loudest. Your words in those moments are not meant to describe your situation. They are meant to define your victory. You are not called to repeat what you see. You are called to proclaim what you believe. So even if everything around you feels dark, say, light is coming, joy is coming, strength is coming. The moment you release those words, the atmosphere begins to respond. Sometimes, all it takes is one powerful phrase to turn the tide of a day. When fear whispers, you can't, answer it by saying, I can. When doubt says, you're not enough, respond with, I am more than enough. When circumstances say, there's no way, speak boldly. A way will be made. Every declaration of faith weakens the grip of negativity and strengthens your spiritual foundation. Your words are like the steering wheel of your life. Wherever you turn them, that is where you will go. So use them wisely. Speak kindness, and you'll experience peace. Speak gratitude, and you'll experience abundance. Speak victory, and you'll walk in confidence. Each morning, decide that your mouth will be an instrument of blessing, not complaint. Let every word you speak carry light, love, and faith. So as you rise each day, open your mouth and let your first words be words of life. Say them boldly, say them with conviction, and watch how the world around you begins to shift in response. For the power of life and death is in your tongue. So choose to speak life, and life will flow abundantly through you. Every morning when you look at yourself in the mirror, before you rush into the day, you must pause and remind yourself who you truly are, not who others say you are, not who your failures or fears claim you to be, but who you are in the eyes of the one who created you. Too many people wake up already feeling defeated because they carry the weight of labels the world has placed on them. They see themselves through the lens of their mistakes, their shortcomings, their disappointments. They look in the mirror and say, I'm not good enough, or I've failed too many times. But my friend, when you see yourself that way, you are living beneath your true identity. You are a masterpiece, wonderfully designed with purpose and power within you. The world may have spoken against you, but heaven has already spoken for you. The way you see yourself determines the way you live your day. If you believe you are weak, you will walk timidly. If you believe you are unworthy, you will settle for less than what was meant for you. But if you wake up each morning and remind yourself, I am loved, I am chosen, I am equipped for today's purpose, everything changes. Your posture changes. Your confidence rises. You start to approach life not as a victim, but as someone divinely assigned. The way you think about yourself sets the boundaries for your possibilities. You cannot walk in confidence while believing you are inadequate. You cannot expect victory if you've already accepted defeat in your mind. You must learn to see yourself through the eyes of grace, not guilt. Grace says, you are forgiven. Grace says, you are capable. Grace says, you are still becoming. Each morning, grace gives you permission to begin again. So don't let yesterday's failures define today's potential. What happened in the past may have left scars, but those scars are not marks of shame. They are testimonies of survival. Every time you choose to rise again, you prove that your worth is not based on what you've done, but on who you are. There is something powerful that happens when you start speaking your identity aloud. When you tell yourself, I am valuable, your mind begins to align with that truth. When you say, I am strong, your spirit starts to believe it. When you declare, I am loved, fear loses its hold. You may not feel it right away, but your words will begin to build the image of who you were meant to be. Every declaration shapes your inner vision. You start to carry yourself differently, think differently, and attract differently. That's why every morning, before the world tells you who you are, you must tell yourself who you are. Too many people live reacting to what others think. They measure their worth by how many people approve of them, how much they've achieved. But your true value is not found in possessions, positions, or opinions. It is found in purpose. You are not a mistake. You are not an accident. You are an intentional creation with a divine plan written over your life. And when you begin to see yourself that way, your life begins to reflect that truth. There will always be voices around you trying to make you doubt your identity. Some will remind you of your weaknesses. Others will question your calling. But remember this, every time doubt speaks, you have the authority to respond with truth. Say to yourself, I am who I am called to be, not who others think I am. When you carry that assurance, criticism loses its power, and insecurity loses its voice. You walk through your day anchored in confidence, because you know your worth does not depend on temporary approval. When you see yourself as valuable, you stop comparing yourself to others. You begin to celebrate who you are and what you bring to the world. Comparison is a thief. It steals your joy and blinds you to your blessings. But when you recognize your uniqueness, you realize you were never meant to imitate anyone else. Your journey is yours alone, and every challenge you face is shaping the person you are becoming. So wake up and thank God for the way you were made. Your personality, your gifts, your story, they all have purpose. Seeing yourself the right way also means forgiving yourself. Some people cannot move forward because they are chained to their past. They replay every mistake, every regret, and they think, if only I hadn't done that. But each morning is a chance to release yourself from that prison. You cannot become who you are meant to be while holding on to who you used to be. Speak to yourself with kindness. Speak to yourself with compassion. Say, I forgive myself for what I didn't know before. I release the weight of regret. I choose peace today. Forgiveness is not weakness, it is freedom. And freedom is the foundation of confidence. You are not defined by what happened to you. You are defined by what you choose to become. When you start to see yourself through eyes of faith, you stop living in reaction to the world and start living in alignment with your purpose. The more you affirm who you are, the more you attract experiences that match that belief. You will find yourself surrounded by opportunities that confirm what you already know, that you are capable, worthy, and chosen. So tomorrow morning, when you rise, don't just look at your reflection, look beyond it. See the strength within you, the grace that covers you, and the purpose that drives you. Don't say, I hope I can make it. Say, I am already equipped for today. Don't say, I wish I was enough. Say, I am more than enough because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Speak these words until your heart believes them, until every doubt is silenced and every fear loses its grip. When you start to see yourself the way you were meant to be seen, as loved, chosen, and equipped, you will walk through every challenge with quiet strength. You will no longer be shaken by what others say, because your confidence is rooted in truth. So each morning, look into the mirror, smile at the reflection staring back, and say with conviction and peace, I am who I am created to be, and that is more than enough. You see, growth never happens in stillness. A seed must break open before it becomes a tree. A butterfly must struggle before it can fly. In the same way, your potential will remain dormant until you allow yourself to be stretched. When you wake up in the morning and say, today I will grow. Today, I will become better than I was yesterday. You are aligning your heart with divine progress. You are choosing not to settle for who you were, but to reach for who you can become. Too often, people pray for change but resist the process that brings it. They want new results without new habits. They want new blessings without new responsibilities. But growth is not a miracle that happens overnight. It is a discipline that happens daily. Each time you face something difficult, it is not meant to destroy you but to develop you. Challenges are the classrooms of spiritual maturity. They refine you, reveal you, and prepare you for greater things ahead. When you see problems through that lens, you stop asking, why me? And start asking, what can I learn through this? Every great thing begins with discomfort. When you step out of your comfort zone, you make room for miracles. Comfort is where dreams go to sleep. Growth is where they wake up. The world may tell you to take the easy road, but the easy road rarely leads anywhere worth going. Growth requires courage. The courage to confront your fears, to take risks, and to believe that you are capable of more. Each morning, you must remind yourself that your potential is bigger than your pain, and your purpose is stronger than your excuses. There will be moments when growth feels lonely. Not everyone will understand your journey, and not everyone will support your decisions. Some people will try to hold you back, because your growth challenges their comfort. But you must learn to move forward, even when no one else claps for you. You must keep going even when the path feels uncertain. The reward for perseverance is always greater than the pain of persistence. When you grow, you don't just elevate yourself, you become a light that inspires others to rise as well. Growth is not only about reaching higher levels of success, it is about becoming more mature in spirit. Every time you choose patience over anger, forgiveness over bitterness, and gratitude over complaint, you are growing. Every time you choose faith over fear, you are strengthening your inner foundation. Growth is not measured by how much you achieve, but by how much you evolve. You may not see it instantly, but every small act of courage, every small step forward, adds up to something extraordinary. Sometimes the biggest growth happens in seasons of silence, when nothing seems to move, and you feel stuck in the same place. But even then, something is happening beneath the surface. Just as a tree's roots grow deepest during the winter, your spirit often grows strongest in times of waiting. Don't despise the slow seasons. They are preparing you for the speed of your next breakthrough. Every delay is developing depth. Every challenge is equipping you with wisdom for what's coming next. Each morning, when you wake up, dare to ask yourself, what can I do today that will make me grow? It could be forgiving someone you've held a grudge against. It could be taking a risk you've been afraid of. It could be learning something new, serving someone in need, or simply choosing a better attitude. Growth doesn't always happen in grand gestures. Sometimes it happens in quiet, consistent choices. What matters is that you keep moving forward. The truth is, growth will cost you something. It may cost you your comfort, your pride, or your old habits. But what you gain in return, wisdom, strength, and spiritual depth, is far greater. Every sacrifice you make for growth will eventually return to you multiplied. And as you grow, your capacity to bless others grows too. You cannot pour from an empty cup, but when you continue to stretch and expand, you become a vessel capable of carrying more light, more love, and more purpose. Don't be afraid to start small. Don't be afraid to fail. Failure is not the opposite of growth. It is part of it. Every time you stumble, you are learning balance. Every time you fall, you are building resilience. Growth does not demand perfection, it demands persistence. So even when progress feels slow, keep going. Even when the outcome seems far, keep believing. One day you'll look back and realize that every step, every struggle, every tear was preparing you for the person you were meant to become. There is greatness within you, but greatness cannot be awakened in comfort. It is awakened in moments of stretching, in seasons of testing, in acts of courage. So each morning, speak this truth into your spirit. Today, I will grow. Today, I will not settle. Today, I will rise beyond where I was yesterday. And when you live with that mindset, no challenge will intimidate you, and no obstacle will stop you. Growth becomes not just something you pursue, but something you embody. So when you wake up tomorrow, don't pray for an easy day. Pray for a growing day. For it is through growth that you discover the strength, the wisdom, and the beauty of who you were always meant to be. When you begin your day with gratitude, you train your spirit to notice blessings instead of problems. The human mind has a tendency to focus on what's missing, the bills, the worries, the unfinished dreams. But gratitude redirects your attention from lack to abundance. It says, I may not have everything I want, but I have everything I need to begin today. That small shift in perspective changes everything. It lightens your heart and lifts your thoughts to higher ground. Gratitude turns an ordinary morning into a sacred moment. Every sunrise is a message that life is still unfolding. When you open your eyes, that simple act means grace has visited you again. You've been given another opportunity to love, to learn, to forgive, and to live. Don't overlook the miracle of that. When you thank God for the breath in your lungs, the strength in your body, the people you love, and even the challenges that shape you, you create an atmosphere of peace around you. Gratitude invites heaven's presence into your day. But gratitude must be practiced intentionally. It doesn't always come naturally, especially when life feels heavy. There will be mornings when your heart is burdened, when you don't feel thankful, when all you can see are the problems pressing on your mind. That is when gratitude becomes a choice, a discipline of faith. You may not feel it, but you speak it anyway. You whisper, thank you, not because everything is easy, but because you trust that everything has purpose. Gratitude is not denial of difficulty, it is declaration of faith in the midst of it. When you start your day thanking God for what you already have, you make room for more blessings to flow. A grateful heart is like fertile soil. It multiplies what is planted in it. The more thankful you are, the more you begin to attract goodness, because you're in tune with abundance instead of scarcity. That's why people who live with gratitude often carry an inner calm. They may go through storms, but the storms do not live inside them. Their hearts are anchored in appreciation. Gratitude also changes the way you treat others. When you appreciate what you have, you stop competing with people and start celebrating them. You begin to notice the beauty in others instead of their flaws. You become more generous, more patient, and more kind. A grateful spirit doesn't demand attention or comparison. It simply radiates peace. Gratitude softens your words, slows your anger, and strengthens your relationships. It draws people to you because gratitude carries warmth. In your morning routine, take a moment to reflect on 3 things you're thankful for. They don't have to be grand. It could be the sound of birds outside your window, the taste of a warm meal, or the smile of someone you love. When you acknowledge these small blessings, you begin to realize how much grace surrounds you. The more you practice gratitude, the more your heart begins to overflow. And an overflowing heart becomes a vessel of blessing to others. When you live with gratitude, you stop living in the past or worrying about the future. You become fully present in the moment. You notice the details of life that used to pass you by. Gratitude opens your eyes to the beauty in simple things. A gentle breeze, a kind word, a quiet moment. It teaches you that joy is not found in the absence of problems, but in the presence of appreciation. Even in hardship, there is always something to be thankful for. A lesson learned, a new strength discovered, a deeper faith built through the trial. There is also a mystery in gratitude. The more you thank God for what you have, the more He entrusts you with. Gratitude is a form of worship. It tells heaven, I see your hand in my life. I recognize your goodness. And when God hears that, He pours out even more favor, not because you demanded it, but because your thankful heart drew it in. Gratitude turns every challenge into an opportunity to witness grace. It changes how you interpret pain and disappointment. Instead of asking, why me? Gratitude says, what can I learn through this? It transforms wounds into wisdom and sorrow into strength. Gratitude and expectation walk hand in hand. When you wake up thankful, you begin to expect good things. Not because you think life will be perfect, but because you believe that even imperfect days can carry perfect moments. Gratitude creates faith. It tells your heart that if goodness was present yesterday, it will surely appear again today. And when you live with that mindset, you approach your day with confidence and calmness. You stop chasing happiness and start cultivating it from within. You cannot control every circumstance, but you can always choose gratitude. You can't stop the rain from falling, but you can thank God for the shelter over your head. You can't change people's opinions, but you can be thankful that your worth isn't defined by them. Gratitude empowers you to see beyond what is wrong and to recognize what is right. It gives you the strength to keep going, the peace to rest in the present, and the joy to smile even in struggle. So each morning, take a deep breath and say, thank you. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this chance. Thank you for everything that has been and everything that is still to come. Say it until your heart believes it. Say it until your perspective shifts. Say it until the light of gratitude fills every corner of your soul. Because when you live with a grateful heart, every morning becomes a miracle, and every day becomes a blessing waiting to unfold. So as you rise tomorrow, don't just start your day. Bless your day by beginning it with gratitude, and expect goodness to follow wherever you go.